Hello and thank you for your interest in our work. I am Cesar Orsini from Norwich Medical School, and I'll be presenting our research on the development of a reporting form for peer observation of online courses based on an e-Delphi consensus study. There are no conflicts of interest to declare from any of the authors in this study. Peer observation of teaching is a formative process designed to develop and enhance the practice of both observer and observed teachers. This has been reported as a powerful tool to enhance student learning, but also for educator development through its ability to encourage reflection, provide support, disseminate good teaching practices, and foster communities of educational practice. Despite its relevance and value, peer observation of teaching has been a practice almost exclusively restricted to face-to-face stand-up activities and has not yet fully embraced the breadth of the educational role and its impact on the total learning environment. One area that is increasingly becoming an important part of institutional provision is online learning. In this sense, peer observation of online courses or modules, beyond the observation of standalone synchronous sessions or pre-recorded videos, may provide a significant way to address these concerns. Initial studies have shown that peer observation of online teaching is possible in practical terms, but also needed as many aspects of face-to-face peer observation do not simply translate directly to online educational activities. Both the implementation and exploration of online peer observation are still in an early stage, and a wide range of aspects remain to be investigated. One fundamental and understudied aspect are the observation and reporting forms used. The great majority are currently designed for face-to-face observations. Therefore, the purpose of this study was to seek consensus and develop a feasible and rigorous reporting form specifically aimed for peer observation of the design and delivery of online courses. In order to reach consensus on the categories and items to be included in the peer observation form, but also to reach consensus on the process and structure to conduct this form, we opted for a Delphi consensus group method to synthesize expert opinions and enhance decision-making. An e-Delphi was used in this study as the online format allowed the involvement of international experts and also permitted an anonymous survey without the risk of domination by individuals perceived to have greater expertise or dominating personality traits. In the first stage, the planning and preparation, and after obtaining ethical clearance, the research team pre-generated the major categories and items within each category, as well as predefining the peer observation process and structure. An a priori set of 3 rounds were determined in order to prevent fatigue and attrition from participants. Each round comprised anonymous open and closed-ended questions. Answers from open-ended questions were used to generate new categories or items to be included in the next round as closed-ended questions. The closed-ended questions were presented in the form of a 4-point Likert scale seeking level of agreement or disagreement. Therefore, the study used the method of aggregate of judgments to determine consensus, where consensus level required for inclusion or exclusion was set at 75%. Regarding the selection and recruitment of participants, we used a combination of an expert and snowball sampling technique. Derived from the literature review and the personal knowledge of the research team, 30 international experts in the field of online learning in higher education were invited. In round 1, participants were first asked for demographic data in order to characterize the sample. The first round aimed at seeking consensus on major categories and the process and structure of peer observation. In round 2, we presented the results from round 1, and afterwards participants were asked to rank their agreement on 2 close-ended questions on the design and delivery of online activities regarding categories that did not reach agreement or new ones that emerged from round 1. Then, participants were asked to rank their agreement on a set of close-ended questions comprising pre-generated items within each category with the possibility of adding new items. Finally, in round 3, we informed the results of round 2, and subsequently participants were asked to rank their agreement on a set of 2 close-ended questions regarding items that had not reached agreement or new ones that emerged from round 2. A total of 24 experts coming from different areas of higher education and settings agreed to participate. Response rates for each round were 88, 58, and 50% respectively. All questions referring to the design and delivery of online courses met the agreed cutoff criteria, while one question achieved consensus regarding process and structure. In round 1, all categories met the cutoff criteria, with general agreement percentages ranging from 95 to 100%. And open-ended questions were used to refine and formulate the items for round 2. The consensus of categories included in the design of online learning were 9, while the consensus of categories included in the delivery of online learning were 4. In round 2, all items within the defined categories from round 1 met the cutoff criteria, with general agreement percentages ranging from 79 to 100%. Round 3 presented the items generated from the open-ended questions from round 2, with all of them meeting the cutoff criteria, with general agreement percentages ranging from 88 to 100%. The full list of categories and items may be downloaded by using this QR code. With regards to the approach to online peer observation, the option that reached an agreement above the cutoff criteria with 91% was that of having a pre-observation online meeting or phone call between the observer and observee, followed by the online observation, then a post-observation online meeting or phone call, and finally having the observee's written reflections. Concerning the structure of the form, the option that reached an agreement above the cutoff criteria with 90% was that of presenting the form with a pre-observation information on the context of the session or of the course, and feedback needs completed by the observee, followed by an observation rubric to be marked by the observer per category, then post-observation feedback as unlimited text entries by the observer, and finally the written reflections as word-limited text entry by the observee. The design form, with its instructions on how to conduct the peer observation process, may be accessed and downloaded by using this QR code. This study was able to identify relevant categories and items regarding the design and delivery of online courses with good level of consensus using the e-Delphi technique, and to therefore develop a feasible and rigorous peer observation form. The form expands the options for peer observation currently reported in the literature to online courses. This is an instrument to be used for formative peer review of online courses or modules, with the aim to provide educators with a specific feedback that may be used to improve their educational practices. The form is not recommended to be used for standalone synchronous sessions or individual pre-recorded videos. Despite the comprehensive and numerous categories and items, the form is feasible to use, as observees should tailor the form to suit their needs, deleting the sections that are irrelevant for observation and for their professional development. The form has been designed mainly for reciprocal peer observation and as a mentoring tool. However, the form is not limited to peer observation, as it may also be used for self-assessment, as a guide for course design, and as a quality assurance tool in course review. Some of the advantages of using this peer observation form for online teaching are that it has the potential for allowing part-time, on-demand, and remote teaching staff to develop and feel a greater sense of institutional belonging. It also provides a means of sharing good online practices, and it ensures that online innovation is cascaded in the same way as classroom-based practice. The next phase of this study will be to pilot test the developed form in authentic online learning contexts. The consensus and resulting peer observation form provides educators with a tool to support the sharing of good practices in teaching and learning, and to ensure that online learning innovation is evaluated in a systematic way. Thank you for your attention.